your favorite Web3 project?
I've been thinking about this a lot, and there's been a lot of projects out there, but one thing that still lingers in my mind, I still like Ethereum to this day. It's because they've been the pioneers of the Web3 space. That's one thing for sure. They've survived so many trials. They've positioned themselves in the market very well, and they still got a lot of active developments till this very day. So you know what? I started with Ethereum, so I'm gonna go with Ethereum.
Ethereum versus Solana dev communities, which would you choose?
Right now, I would say Ethereum might be still slightly bigger than Solana, but the Solana dev community is definitely growing. One thing for sure, I would say Solana dev community might be a bit more specialized. They have their different types of priorities right now, but I think for more dev-related focuses, something that I actually value most, I would say the Ethereum developer community.
Do you have to have a software engineering degree to become a DevRel?
I personally have a software engineering degree, but from what I've learned through the past months, you actually technically don't need it. Majority of the skills that I use to my job right now is something I learned on the spot. So more on socializing with people, more giving support to people. That's something that you get used to it and you get better to it over time, analyzing what their problem is. It's nice to have a software engineering degree so that you get to understand the software a lot deeper. But for a DevRel position, I don't think you technically need one. As long as you know the software very much technically, you understand it, you know how to bug it, you know how to use it. And now that you have the skill of socializing and teaching it to other people, I think that's what makes a good DevRel.
What is something no one tells you before becoming a DevRel in crypto, but definitely should?
I wish someone told me that there might be times where you really have to split yourself up to the point where you need to be good at context switching. Not only will you be coding maybe the first part of the day, but you're also going to be doing a lot of things. There's going to be organization, and you have to be organized as a DevRel. You got to remember, okay, these are the projects. Let's say you're handling 100 different projects. You kind of have to remember what each and every project does, or what each and every project had problems with. So honestly, it's being very organized, emotionally ready for conversations with other people.
What do you think are some misconceptions that non-developers have, for example, marketing managers or salespeople about building on blockchain?
For marketers, normally they think a possible feature, there's a wonderful feature that's possible to do. They always push on definitely improving user experience. But then when you look into the dev perspectives, it's actually you get to understand how deep the problem is. Hey, there's not a single solution. There's not a single standard. So it's kind of hard to do a better user experience with it. There's a lot of work that goes underneath it so that it only looks like one click to the user. It's technical debt that actually accumulated over the years that developers actually do understand, and it needs a lot more work. It needs a lot more time, a lot more testing. It needs a standardized. So that's something that I think developers know much well compared to marketers. As marketers, they look at it more on the surface level of hey, how can we interact with it? How can we gain users out of it? But then for developers, it dives into the technicality on how do I make it possible. Number one, it definitely miscalculates the timeline of a particular project. And number two, maybe the expectations.
What's your go-to comfort food when everything breaks and nothing works at 3 a.m.?
I would choose instant noodles with kimchi on it.
How do you keep up with all the technical updates?
Sometimes people would say Twitter, but it depends on who you follow with Twitter. So honestly, for me, participating in hackathons, being active in the developer communities, there are a lot of platforms out there. Encode is one of them. Dora Hacks is another. Wiz is also a good one as well. Follow technical people in Twitter and maybe some trusted blogs.
Imagine you get one magic wish. Which problem are you deleting forever?
It's that wallet problem, because honestly, until now, I still see that problem. So it's standardizing most wallets to the point where we could make them secure, user-friendly, interoperable. Having a working and functional wallet that has a standard in all chains.
What's a non-crypto hobby that surprisingly helps you in your crypto work?
You know what, golf? I would say it's golfing. It clears your mind to the point where you get to disassociate with your work and started thinking more on a different dimension. It's my way of touching grass.
Why do you think most dApps on blockchain still struggle to attract non-crypto users?
People in general are creatures of habit, right? And it's whatever we get used to that we use every day. And only when we have a desired need, or maybe there's such a big friction or big annoyance, that we actually use other technology. But if I'm currently satisfied, or I'm currently comfortable, or I really like the apps that I'm currently using right now, people would normally stick to that. Why dApps struggle to get users is, number one, is the bad user experience. Number two, I think there's still a negative sentiment. Even when talking to non-crypto users, freelancers is like they still have the hesitation on using crypto. So how do I even convince someone to even try it? So that's such a big struggle for me going forward. Maybe on that problem that people are experiencing, they haven't really passionately annoyed with a certain problem to the point where they wanted to explore these options. And maybe the fourth one, this is true for some apps. They don't really solve a critical problem that people have a demand for.
If you could have dinner with anybody in the crypto space, who would it be?
You know what? I'm gonna go with the CZ from Binance. I think he's an interesting character. I wanted to get to know how do you even run a company like Binance, right? You know what? I'm gonna go with Maggie as well. Why not?
Are there any new tools that are game changers in your work as a DevRel or as a developer?
I'm gonna go the basic route. It's ChatGPT. It's everything that's AI. You know, it's not just ChatGPT. It's cloud. It's every kind of AI tool out there. I would say they're very game changing.
What world problems do you want to solve working in crypto?
The inconsistency with our banking system and anything related to money. What cryptocurrency, what Web3 provides is a censorship-resistant environment and infrastructure where you could technically like build anything that doesn't need like a third party to settle in. So it could be settled by anyone that has goodwill in the network. There's tons of different use cases for that. And I just realized, you know what? It's not just the monetary system. It's not just intellectual property. It's healthcare. You could solve a problem in any type of job with something that's related to crypto and something related to censorship.